Hey guys, welcome to Catch 22 Gaming and welcome to the very first episode of what I will call $10. So what does that stand for? It means that I scour the internet and I come across deals that I reckon represent good value for money. So this is a program that I hope to bring to you on a weekly basis, and if I see anything outstanding, or if you guys see anything outstanding, feel free to bring it to my attention and I'll be more than happy to have a bit of a discussion about it. So the first game here that we see is Supreme Commander 2. So it follows on from what's a successor to the Total Annihilation series that was developed by Chris Taylor in the late 1990s, which was a defining real-time strategy game. Now, the game that followed on from that was the original Supreme Commander, and after that, Supreme Commander 2, where the resource management system has changed, but I believe those issues have sort of been resolved by now, so give it a go there, which brings me on to our next game there. So, Splinter Cell Conviction, it was developed by Ubisoft, so this brings a whole heap of other issues that we can sort of discuss about, which I'll probably chat about on another day, so, which is digital rights management, which, I don't think there's many gamers that are a fan of it. But in regards to this particular game here, it's probably a bit of a digression from the series where a lot of the hardcore fans or the games prior to this really focused on the stealth aspect. Now, this particular game, yes, there's a little bit of stealth there, but it's probably more action-paced, and it's probably a game where you can just switch off your mind and sort of enjoy. In regards to the graphics, they're fine, but keep in mind, this game's probably 3 or 4 years older now, but it should run fine on most systems. Now, on the next game, Dirt 3. So, I own Dirt 1 and Dirt 2, and the graphics were quite good. Well, the problem with Dirt 1 was fantastic. The problem with Dirt 2 was it was just, presentation was awesome, but it was just a lot of crap that appealed to hyped up teenagers that drank Monster energy drinks. Now, Dirt 3 represents going back to what they were good at. So yes, it's still got a variety of different gameplays, so you can see in the photo there, it's got a little bit of gymkhana, but it goes back to predominantly what it's good about, and that's going back to rally car driving. So it really tests the skills. The handling is quite nice. The graphics are quite good as well, and it's seems to be really well optimized, and it was developed by Codemasters. So these guys have a fair bit of pedigree in the racing scheme, and they have a few hit and miss titles, but I reckon this is one of those games which is a bit more of a hit. And this game here, Singularity. So it's a game that I think's a little bit on the more unusual side. So it's a FPS shooter that was introduced in about 2010, and the publisher is Activision. So the graphic itself isn't that crash hot there, but the gameplay, it plays out like any typical first-person shooter. However, there's a skill in there that's a little bit unusual, and it's called time shifting. So what exactly is time shifting? You can age your enemies there, and also you can slow down enemies. So it brings a unique sort of mechanic to the game, and I think it brings a different perspective. But other than that, it plays out like your typical shooter. Campaign is relatively adequate, but I wouldn't say it's anything to sort of go home about. But I think for value for money, for $7.50, if you've got nothing better to sort of play at the moment there, I do think it's worth value for money. Now, the last game, Sleeping Dogs. I'm a huge fan of this game here. It's very, very cheap at the moment, going at $2.99, so it's a definite buy. Look, it's got a Metascore of 81. I believe that's a little bit on the low side there, but if we just look at the wider game itself, if you like Grand Theft Auto, you'll probably enjoy this game here. So this is another game that's really well optimized. It's actually uses the Havoc physics system, which is, I wouldn't say it's the most mature system out there, but it's proven itself to be quite a reliable sort of system there. And the gameplay is actually really fun. So it's a game that, if you don't have it, I highly recommend to get into. So this wraps up my first sort of episode there. If you've got any questions, comments, or if you've got any sort of ideas or games that you really think stick out, please let me know. So like, subscribe, make your comments, guys. and Catch 22 out. Thank you.